Hey guys, it's your lady Loopy Sabre, and I'm here today to talk to you a little bit about inflammation. Basically, inflammation is a condition where a localized part of your body has a trauma response where it becomes swollen and hot and reddened, and it's often really, really painful, and it's normally associated with injury or infection. But obviously, when you have lupus, um, though your body is going haywire and your antibodies and your blood cells are attacking joints in your body that they have no business attacking. So some of my most common like sites of inflammation in the recent years has been my knees. It started in my knees, as you guys know from the last video. My elbows, my wrists, the joints of my fingers, especially here, and the fingers I used to write with. My where else? It's been so many places. Oh, my skin gets really inflamed. My jaw used to get inflamed, and I'm so thankful that that ended. It was the worst trying to eat when that would happen. And then most recently has been my chest area, my rib cage. And that's weird because that's never happened. That just actually started recently around the same time as the coronavirus pandemic. So that was scary because it kind of makes you feel like you can't breathe. And that was not like a symptom that I was a fan of during this pandemic. Anyway, so let's talk a little bit about like how that affects you. Like when you are inflamed, people don't really understand. Like when you say your knee hurts, and they think that like, oh, you're just having a little ache. No, this is like when you can barely walk, or when you walk, it's very painful. I've had times where my knee would get so inflamed that I could not get off the couch because as soon as you put your foot down and that blood circulation gets going even more, you're in some serious pain. Okay, so I definitely like wanted to talk about this just for other people who can relate. If you can relate, please leave a message in the comment box. But then also for our family members who sometimes they don't really get it. They think that we're just like complaining, like, oh, we're feeling pain. Everybody feels pain. Not when you have both knees are swollen and hot and painful, and you can barely walk, and both elbows are too. Especially if you have kids and they're toddlers. Both of my sons are toddlers, and you have to lift them and do all these things, and your family wants to invite you to all these events, and they don't even understand that you can barely like pick up your kids, barely get them dressed. So inflammation is probably like my least favorite part of this whole journey. Um, like it beats the fatigue, it beats the exhaustion, the brain fog, all of that. Inflammation. All right, so here are some of the treatments. Now, treatments are really funny for me. As you guys are really going to find out, I do not like medicine. Medicine is not my friend. It's never been my friend. I've never liked medicine since forever. If you heard that, that was my stomach because I didn't eat breakfast yet. But one of the most common medications that is recommended when you have inflammation, obviously, is an NSAID, particularly ibuprofen. I just personally don't like taking ibuprofen, and for the past several years that I've been dealing with this, since 2012, it was 2012 when I first realized something's wrong. And since that time, even before my diagnosis in 2018, I just kind of bared it. Like, I just listened to my body, and if I was having inflammation, honestly, I would just probably go rest or maybe take the day off. If it wasn't so bad, I would push through. Um, Now, that advice isn't for everybody. Obviously, everybody has different pain tolerance, and everybody's situation is different. Lupus is just so diverse. Like that's one of the fascinating things about it. But I personally tried to stay away from ibuprofen and took more of a natural kind of alternative route to treating my condition through 2012, from 2012 to 2000 to now. now. I just have found a lot of different natural remedies that help out a lot, and I don't want this video to be too long, so I'll make a separate video for that. But ibuprofen is one of the number one medications that's recommended for like mild flare-ups, mild inflammation in the body. And then I just learned about prednisone because, as I told you guys, over the summer, my lupus had flared up really, really bad, and it started to affect my chest and my rib cage. And I was just like, what is happening to me? This is not okay. They were doing tests on my heart. They were doing tests on my lungs, making sure that everything was okay. And thankfully, everything was, except they had diagnosed me with costochondritis, which is inflammation of the chest wall and rib cage. I didn't even know that that was a thing. But it is. So who was he? I forget the type of, I think he was a pulmonologist for the lungs. He was a lung doctor. And he prescribed me prednisone. And it's a steroid. I went and picked it up. And someone who doesn't, I don't like medicine, guys. I don't like it. I went and picked it up. And I took it. I took the dose that first day. I felt like I got hit by a truck. Okay? I did feel like the inflammation was going down, but I also felt like I got hit by a truck, and like it hit me and then it reversed over top of me and then hit me again. And that's how I felt. I felt like I was going into like getting like too like filling with rage or something. Like I just felt so much like, that nervous energy, and I didn't like that feeling at all. So I didn't even finish the dose. I still have it, so if I ever like get an extreme pain or something, I have it, but I don't foresee myself going that route in the near future, or in the future at all, unless I'm forced to, because I did not like the way that felt. Like I would rather know what I'm facing, know that okay, it's costo that I'm feeling, I'm gonna be okay. It's just like inflammation in there, and I need to kick up some of my natural remedies to kind of try to bring that inflammation down. So again, I will talk about some of those natural remedies in the next video. And then the last thing that I want to talk about here is diet and exercise to combat inflammation. I feel like that is the number one thing that has helped, is like just having a regular routine for exercise. Continuing to have that healthy blood flow in your body, so that like, yes, you have those disorderly blood cells attacking stuff they don't have no business attacking, but we also have healthy blood cells in our body, and we want to make sure that we are circulating those. I know that over the course of the pandemic, obviously I'm a teacher, so I've been teaching remotely, and that means that I've been sitting at my desk a lot more than usual. I have to plug in my computer so it doesn't die. I've been sitting at my desk a lot more than usual, and that, obviously can cause poor circulation and different things. And that could have been a part of the reason, like that lifestyle shift could have like shifted me right into a flare. But what that allowed me to do is try to find other ways to stay active, because as a teacher, you're circulating that room all day. So you're getting a lot of activity. And to go from that, like being on your feet all day to like a place where you're just stationary all day, that's a really, really big change for your body. So I started to run or jog. Well, I started off walking because I had to get back in shape. Started off walking, and then to a jog, and then to a run. And I would do that sometimes once a day, sometimes twice a day. And I try to do that at least 5 days a week. Sometimes it's 3 days a week, but if I do 3 days a week, I'll try to add a couple extra minutes so that I can make up and try to get at least 150 minutes a week. So that's the one. And then I also started to pick up yoga. And let me know in the comments if you want me to start doing some of my yoga routines, or any of, like, you want to see any of these types of things in future videos. But nightly yoga has definitely helped, because it's helping me to strengthen my muscles, which takes some of the weight off your joints, which is where the inflammation usually attacks. And it also helps to increase just flexibility. Like if I have more flexibility and range of motion in my chest, because I'm almost sure that the chest inflammation is attributed to poor posture from sitting at my desk all day. So if I can stretch those ligaments and things out, it's more likely for them to feel so, stressed when you're in certain positions. So yoga, I feel, has definitely been helpful for me. And then the second part of this is diet. I'm really big on diet for combating this thing. I feel like a lot of illnesses, diseases, disorders all go back to like physical condition, stress, and diet. And so just the basics, I will probably make another video for this because again, I don't want this video to be too long. But I cut out all or most inflammatory foods. My biggest culprits personally have been potatoes and tomatoes, and I just kind of branched out to like all nightshades. When I was eating tomatoes, like pizza, yes, pizza, I miss it. When I was eating that, my face, like I would know. It got to the point where I knew if I made spaghetti, lasagna, pizza, I can count on it that by the end of that night, my face is going to be, like, you guys will probably never see it because I don't even touch tomatoes anymore. But, like, this little pimple, this is, like, I appreciate this because I never used to have pimples. I would have these horrible rashes. You guys know the butterfly rash? Horrible, scaly, peeling rashes. You can still see some of my scars. And I would have those all here. And they would just peel all up here, peel. And it was just, it was a really big, to my confidence and self-esteem. So I cut out tomatoes. And since I cut out tomatoes, I don't get that. I would even get it in my scalp. My scalp would be so inflamed and peeling, and it impacted my hair growth and all of that stuff. But since I cut out tomatoes, that has been like miraculously different. Like it doesn't really happen unless if I accidentally eat something that might have tomato as an ingredient somewhere lost on the list, and then I read and I realize you got me. But it doesn't happen the way that it did when I was eating tomatoes regularly. And then potatoes, I could count on it. If I eat some French fries, my knees are going to get inflamed. Okay, so I don't do it. Now that one hurt a lot because French fries are my favorite food in the world. Like that was my like addiction. And even now, I'm gonna be honest. Even now, sometimes I get so like low about it because I love French fries. Sometimes you just have to go to Chick-fil-A and just get some French fries. So every now I might do that. Like every 2 months, I might just get French fries and know that I can probably expect a little bit of pain in my joints. But sometimes you just have to do what's best for your mental health. So, and then the last thing is trying really, really hard to eliminate stress. Stress is like, I feel like one of the biggest factors in causing flare-ups in lupus. So, and just any autoimmune diseases. So definitely starting a morning routine and a nightly routine to reduce stress, whatever works for you. For me, it's lots of tea, it's yoga, it's prayer, it's, painting, etc., etc. So that is me. These are the things that I have experienced with inflammation. Let me know in the comment section if I missed something, if you want me to go over something a little bit more in detail, so that I can address that in the next video. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I will see you in the next video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so that you can see all of the upcoming goodness. All right, guys. Bye.